From one sleepy princess to another, let's look at Golden Films' early version of Snow White. And I do have to specify early version because just like with Beauty and the Beast, Golden Films found it necessary to do this one twice. Of the many, many versions of Snow White out there, this is one of them. Blah, 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 investment corporation, you know the deal. Ugh, Valen's given up, hasn't he? Speaking of giving up, that's one ugly-ass title screen. I suppose I can give it to Golden Films that the second time they did this story, the title looked at least, 10% better. I did some very precise calculating to arrive at that percentage.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Always make sure to draw 'em right in at the beginning, right?
A long time ago,
There was a tree. Remember those?
the young princess.
Ugh, is that really the fairest of them all? That magic mirror's standards have really fallen.
Both lovely and pure of heart, she was named Snow White.
Had they named her Snow Gray, this would have been a much dirtier tale. Anyway, Snow White sure loves dim apples. Get it? Get it? She must be gathering some apples to store in her cheeks for the winter. Then, somehow, Snow White's crown just pops right off her head, and also somehow she doesn't notice that giant head of hers get a lot lighter.
Sadly, Snow White's mother, the queen, had died shortly after she was born.
Well, probably better off for her, otherwise she'd be the villain of the story instead of the stepmother.
Her father, the king, married again.
I guess we have to assume he croaked too, but they don't bother to tell us. Maybe he's just King Gentleman and is always looking the other way at daughter abuse. And wait a second, what the shit is this? This is the evil stepmother queen? I'm pretty sure a big part of the Snow White tale was that the evil queen was supposed to be pretty on the outside but ugly on the inside. You know, hence why the magic mirror used to tell her she was the fairest? Until that damn Snow White came along and stole the hottest in all the land title away from her? Though maybe I'm the one in the wrong here for thinking she's unconventionally attractive, and this is really a deep commentary by Golden Films. Or they just thought villain equals ugly. What are we cheering for? She's a convicted felon! You're stupid, that's why!
This queen cared only about her appearance.
And she apparently thought if she maxed out the ugly meter, it'd overflow and she'd have to be rated hot as fuck.
Mirror, mirror in my hand, who is the loveliest creature in all the land?
Shouldn't it be, magic mirror that is my brand, please help this movie to not get panned? And why a hand mirror? Disney didn't create the wall mirror thing. The quote everyone misremembered her saying from the Disney movie was a part of the original story. You know, where she really did say mirror, mirror on the wall. This truly is a magic hand mirror, though, as it manages to track her face and keep it centered despite her and it moving around.
In all the land, there's none that can hold a candle to the beauty and the wonder that is you.
Oh wait, never mind, I forgot. Other women exist. And you know, science fiction double feature and all that.
Sweet reference, mirror. I hate that.
What's that in your hand?
It's for you. I found a whole tree just full of them.
I bring you the secret of gravity. I don't believe in gravity. It's political. Wow, that's stupid and boring.
You know, I think the queen could use a little support. I guess fairity truly is in the eye of the beholder. Rip and piss, King Baton.
Well, if there's a whole tree just full of them, it's not special.
Is it?
Aw, I sure was hoping you'd poison me with that. Wait until you're a little older. But I want to be poisoned now.
Your hair is so beautiful. May I use your comb on my hair?
Is Snow White high?
Year after year, until one day.
Until one day it got really awkward. That wasn't an edit by me. They really had her freeze there awkwardly. And I know I made the Newton joke earlier, but I think if one of these apples fell on Snow White, she wouldn't live to tell the tale of gravity.
Wow, that castle is so stupidly placed, it could be the new Camelot.
Oh, get the hell out of here with your cuckolot shit, Arthur.
What, pray tell, are you doing?
I was just noticing how those little lines around your eyes look like my feet.
We were oddly spared comedic animal sidekicks in Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, but in Snow White, the queen gets a crow and Snow White gets a giant squirrel. Like, holy shit, that thing is bigger than a cat.
Not older, exactly, mature. Maybe mature isn't exactly the word I'm looking for.
Oh, I don't know. I think this is for a very mature audience.
While your beauty, my queen, is still quite rare,
I don't have eyes.
Snow White is many times more fair.
You know, people get after the prince for his lack of consent, but I think that mirror deserves a bit of scrutiny for how it talks about little girls.
Oh, can't get me now.
You are the mirror, though. You didn't actually go anywhere.
Oops.
Whoa, rude! Her worst crime yet. The new fairest of them all, my ass mirror.
Call my huntsman, now!
Oh, great. I'm getting my orders through a crow again.
You're even more beautiful than I was at your age.
Here's how I looked back then. Pretty hot, right?
They were a bit close to the Disney one with this outfit, weren't they?
I'd like you to gather some rare mushrooms.
But the forest is a dangerous place to go alone.
That's right, it's dangerous to go alone, so take Roid Link with you.
Your axe has been honed recently?
To razor sharpness, my queen.
The princess will not return from the forest. Do you understand?
Let's get dangerous.
So, yeah, we've got Jim Cummings in here again as the huntsman and one of the dwarves.
What does that have to do with anything?
And we've also got Rob Paulson as one of the other dwarves.
Not even him, especially him. I don't know him, never met his family.
And it's Cass Susie as Snow White.
Men! Can't live with them, can't sell them for parts.
Oh!
Roid Link apparently has some real range as he's gonna somehow axe Snow White from 20 feet away.
Please, huntsman, don't take my life.
Well, I'm convinced.
Better my head than yours.
I'm not even gonna try to trick the queen in this one, I guess. I'm just gonna head back and say I did a bad job and to chop my head off.
So clearly this is in the Link Has Fallen Zelda timeline.
Run! Run!
I wonder what he means by that. Oh well, guess I'd better be running.
Fleeing for my life has never been so fun. I just gotta dance run.
Oh!
Your Majesty, Your Royalness, Your... what should I call you?
So despite the fact she's been hanging out with the giant squirrel since the beginning, they act like this is their first meeting because, I don't know, it's remembered how to talk now.
I shall call you Snow White.
Which is very appropriate, because that's her name.
Thank you, little friend.
Please please motorboat me for a while?
I'm without a home at the moment.
Oh, I can fix that.
I'll break you into those stupid dwarves' house.
It wasn't enough that Snow White was about to have 7 dwarf sidekicks, it was also imperative that she have a talking squirrel following her around too. The squirrel shows Snow White to the dwarves' cottage, and that's it for it doing anything of any importance. Does Snow White always have to look like she's seeing the most insane shit ever just off screen? Anyway, I'll give it to her. This Snow White only needed the aid of 1 animal to help clean the dwarves' house instead of an army of them.
Guess you've had kind of a rough day.
Could people just stop kissing Snow White while she's sleeping? Also, could Snow White close her damn mouth? I don't know about the weird blow-up doll look.
I never kissed someone who wasn't screaming before.
The story you have been seeing is true. The names have been changed to protect the insanely creepy.
Well, I dug the most diamonds out of the mine today.
The diamonds, my god!
All the dwarves have mouse ears. Probably so they can sort of resemble a certain other dwarf, and one of them is very dopey with just a little bit of hair.
Hey, somebody's been here.
Someone who sounds almost the same as me.
Hey, that's my...
Well, great. I'm never gonna be able to sleep through that.
We'll find out who she is in the morning.
Find out who the intruder is? Pfft, that's not a pressing issue.
Where am I gonna sleep?
Try the floor. Good night.
And try to have worse lip syncing than us. We've been staring at you for hours.
It's a human.
What did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost.
A ghost!
Snow White told the little men her tale and how she came to stay at their cottage.
And they told her that she's got a real bug-eye thing going on.
Sorry about the bug eyes thing. I'll be in my office.
How the queen meant to have her killed in the forest.
So what can you do?
She's just been standing there silently for over an hour. What the hell is this?
You'll stay here with us. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay.
I was just kidding.
You know, that joke might have worked a little better had you not completely screwed up the timing and made Nay almost unable to be heard.
Each morning, Snow White saw the 7 little men off to work.
And she stared into their souls. Hi, blow, it's off to shut up we go. I don't want to go back home to that monster. Really though, look just how happy they are now that Snow White is here.
The Princess Snow White, who lives in the dwarf's cottage, is by far more fair.
Oh, are you sure that's all you want to say, Mirror? Don't want to give the Queen GPS coordinates to Snow White or anything?
It stinks.
Yes, may I help?
Wow, you look exactly like my stepmother, except you're wearing a hat. Must be a different person.
You'd think if this is just so important to the Queen, she could have tried a little bit with the disguise there. So we're doing the Queen's 3 attempts on Snow White's life, which originally started with her trying to squeeze the life out of Snow White by tying a bodice up too tight. But here she just tries to wrap her up with a giant lace and crush her that way, I guess? You'd think with this method it might make a little more sense to just put it around Snow White's throat, kinda like how she did in the jet lag version.
Gotta wait for one more. Oh, then she's for sure dead. Yep, that's done it for sure.
Feel free to hoot. Ow.
Don't include me in this.
Look out.
We're so dumb we forgot how doors work. Well, she's dead. Might as well not waste the meat. How long was she not breathing for? She's probably got brain damage by now. Though, maybe Snow White is a lot like Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, and her brain uses way less oxygen than a normal brain.
If I did revive him, Bubbles, you'd just be a vegetable.
I think probably his brain uses way less oxygen than a normal brain.
My brain doesn't use enough oxygen because I don't have the whole thing filled with different stuff.
Who is the fairest in the land?
Snow White still lives and remains the fairest, not you.
Oh, screw that stupid mirror. Couldn't it be cool for just once?
Look, let me make things nice and sparkling clear. Snow White is fucking dead. D-E-E-D.
Remember, while we're gone, don't let anyone in.
Oh, you know I'm going to.
Yeah, don't know why I tried.
Unless it's the express delivery man. I'm expecting a package.
I will scare a hole through anyone who dares enter my domain.
Hilarious. Now, if you thought the Queen's first disguise was lame, well, get a load of this. The Queen's second disguise is absolutely nothing. She just hides behind the corner and the door. Though I suppose that is a way to avoid Snow White's eye beams. And this is, of course, the weirdest attempt on Snow White's life with a poisoned comb. It's just that fast-acting hair poison or whatever.
The poison from the comb is wearing off.
Guess they don't make poisoned combs like they used to.
Though in hindsight, I don't know why I thought that would work.
This time, no mistakes.
Excuse me? The Queen's poison potion has 2 dead people in it as ingredients? We're just gonna glance over that, are we? Don't know why a poisoned apple was plan C after a poisoned comb.
I apologize for my appearance. Life has been very cruel to me.
But still, Amir ranks me as the second hottest person in the world.
So, hey, at least the Queen threw a wig on and tried slightly this time.
I really should.
The apple is delicious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Snow White's brain definitely doesn't need all that much oxygen. Oh, I'm done with trying. Let's just put her in a glass box so people can learn from the big dummy.
Now, who is the fairest in all the land?
You.
Okay, I love that the mirror was just done with it at this point. You!
The little men put her in a glass box in hopes that one day Snow White would wake up once again.
Not typically how death works, but you do you, dwarves.
Hello there! You in the house!
I'm very interested in your boxed woman.
Wow, what a creep. You could have her.
Gotta love when the not developed at all prince comes in to save the day.
It's slightly better when these things of Snow White meet the prince at least once while conscious. It's still a damn quick love, but hey, at least he's actually met her once beforehand. Though the prince was going to immediately throw out a non-consensual kiss the first time he met Snow White in the Disney version before they cut that.
The prince kisses her. Snow White gives a little scream and runs out of the scene.
And if screaming and running away doesn't say true love, I don't know what does.
Is there anyone in the house?
Ooh, maybe my package has arrived.
Funny as it ever was.
The king's son had been riding by and had fallen in love with Snow White.
I love how she lays there in a box.
the perfect woman. But fortunately, they all just blinked right out of existence shortly after.
And if you take her now, we'll throw in this poisoned apple for free.
Glad they kept that with her. Really drove the value up. Ooh, she still got her accessory. We need some humor in this scene. Quick, have the squirrel hold up, nothing for the horse to lick.
They would let him take Snow White with him. He would always take care of her.
Well, she's that random weirdo's problem now.
And apparently, he's turning into a ghost. So instead of copying Disney by having him smooch up the unconscious woman, they have it be the Princess Min tripping while carrying her that dislodges the piece of apple from Snow White's throat. Well, that's supposed to be what happens anyway, but Golden Films forgot to actually show that, so they just trip and she suddenly wakes up. Guess she was just taking a very light poison apple snooze.
Where am I?
Oh, princess, will you marry me?
Ew, I don't want an anime wannabe boy.
We were carrying you to my castle. One of my men stumbled. Will you marry me?
Awkward.
Who's the fairest?
Fairer still is the newly made queen.
Well, we'll just see about that.
Cheers to getting rid of that monster. Wait, so this is their wedding and Snow White couldn't get a different dress? You know, at least one she hadn't been dead in for a few months? And the poorly drawn crowd goes mild. I do especially love Mr. Pinhead here.
Snow White!
I thought for the slightest second that maybe Golden Films would be the ones to do the original Queen is forced to wear burning iron shoes and dance until she drops dead ending. But then I remembered it's Golden Weenie Films. So she laughs. Other people join in for unknown reasons, and then she runs away crazy. Losing her mind is somehow a more humane way of taking care of her, apparently. What the hell? The squirrel does the horny cartoon wolf bit, and then we cut to them gyrating at each other? Well, never mind. Golden Films is hardcore.
Hey, Mirror, that wedding was awful. Good thing it was just me and not you there.
I am you, my queen!
What?
This is probably one of the worst adaptations of Snow White ever. It doesn't give any time to developing anyone or anything, and it's filled with inane garbage, so I highly recommend it. Still better than live action Snow White, though, am I right? Am I? Yeah, I'm probably right.